Welcome, friends of the toast. And you guys, this is video 3 in our Pauper series. So, I hope you're excited as I am. Because this is one of our own Pauper decks that is original to the channel. I haven't seen one quite like it. So, it's not a metagame deck. It's a Witch-Maw Infect. Do you know what Witch-Maw is? It's an old lady mouth. No, I'm just kidding. It's a color sequence. It's all colors but red. That's what Witch-Maw is. So Witch-Maw is all colors but red. Let's get right into it. Let's meet the cast of characters. Where are the characters? We are your friends. Okay, so let's talk about it. We got poison counter. Of course we do. That's to keep track of our friends' poison counters, because, you know, these things deal their damage and infect. Deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/-1 counters and to players in the form of poison. You guys know what poison is? Poison is a substance that is deadly. So, poison, dangerous. Yeah, poison. All right, Glissy Gliss. We have Gliss here, which is probably the worst card in the world. I'm just kidding. Glistener's okay. She's a 1/1, and she has Infect. And she is 4. She's got a creature type, subtype, and super type. So she is going to get +4/+4 if we play a special card. Which, can you guys guess what it is? It's got the worst and dumbest name ever. We have Ikerclaw Infect. When Ikerclaw becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and that is why it's great, because that pretty much is going to wipe something out. You put a few -1/-1 counters on a lot of creatures in this format. It's a Bonzo Gonzo. See you next Sunday. We have the Plague Stinger here. Now, in my opinion, this is probably the worst creature among the group. And if you were going to cut down to maybe 2 of these to put something else in, I think sideboarding this would be a good option. So we are running 4 of those. We do have all of the gang. You see that? We have all the new Phyrexia gang, and what was that other one? Mirrodin. The Mirrodin ones too. So this right here, I think, is probably my favorite, even though it's blue. Look at that. Look at that head. Look at the head on that thing. What is even that? It's a human, but look at that. It's like some kind of plague mask. Anyways, deals damage, got the Infect. Blighted Agent is unblockable. So it's a little better than the Plague Stinger because it's just straight up unblockable. Can't be blocked. It doesn't make you not want to block it like the Myrrh. It doesn't evade just non-flyers or creatures without reach like the Plague Stinger. It just can't be blocked. But we know this. We know this. All right. So there you go. So we got Sultai there covered, but we got to show where white comes in. And white is important because these creatures are so weak and so susceptible to removal. I always joke about when people say dies to removal, and I'm like, everything does. And you guys know, we're old school Infect players. We've been playing Infect since this channel started. So, that being said, I think that in Pauper, having like the experience of modern Infect, we can kind of bring some of that experience to the table, and we'll get into these instances that'll kind of show that. So Vines of Vastwood, it's good to protect our spells. Now, this kicker is great, so keep that 2 mana up. Maybe you got some Rancor action on your Blighted Agent, or let's say it's not even a Blighted Agent. Let's say you just got like an elf out or something, some little vanilla there. So let's say it's turn 2, turn 1, you played your elf. Coming in with your elf. Your opponent doesn't declare blockers. Play that. Bang. That's 5 damage coming through for 2 mana. So you can get a turn 3 victory by just playing that as an instant. So we have 2 Vines of Vastwoods in here. Honestly, you know what? To be honest with you, I think yeah. 2 of these Snakeskin are usually in the sideboard. I like the 4 for the most part of the Vines of Vastwood, just for that reason, to be able to pump it and then boom, send it home. Now Snakeskin Veil's great too because it puts a counter that stays And, you know, getting that hexproof's good, but that counter that stays, it feels like a good payoff. It feels like something of substance. I like Snakeskin Veil in here. We just have 3 of them, but I do like it in the deck because it feels like it gives you something substantial, kind of like, oh, I got a counter. Now, Mutagenic Growth is really good because if you have 2 of these in your hand, it can be just enough to push it forward to get that turn 3 victory, which is kind of a sweet thing in Pauper, I'm learning. We're learning lots of things about Pauper. So we have these Phyrexian instants here that can be paid with 2 life or 1 green. So it's no harm, no foul because we got plenty of green mana and we got life to spare as well. So look at those very, very different colors in those mutagenic growths. Interesting. So here's a card. I don't like this word. I don't like the word embiggen. It's a very silly word. Silly is a nicer way of putting it. All right. Until end of turn, target non-brushwag creature gets +1/+1 for each super type, card type, and subtype it has. Now, you might say to yourself, oh my goodness, am I going to have a little... You won't, because everything in the deck gets +4/+4. That's all you need to know. Everything gets +4/+4. All of them get it. So +4/+4, it's an instant. It's Might of Old Krosa, but better, because you could just pop this thing down at that wonderful time. So wait for it. Send your creature in. And I mean, to be honest, let's just show them. Let's just show them, Tony. Let's show them how it's done. Let's just show them. All right, and this is done with a Glistener Elf even. But you know what? Let's say it's not even a Glistener. Let's just say, just in case they did have a bunch of little weenies out to block, we go like this. Oh shoot, it has to be the Glistener Elf. That's right, I forget. I digress, stupid me. All right, anyways, so bing bong boom. All right, so it's turn 2. So what we go is we swing in. They say, oh, we didn't play anything. Okay, so we swing in with the Glistener, and they think on turn 2 it's just going to be a 1/1. So we tap 2 before the damage goes through, 2 embiggens. So it gets +4/+4 and +4/+4, and then we swipe in my favorite, bang, a mutagenic growth, just like that. And that is a victory on turn 2, friends. That is a turn 2 victory, and that is how it's done. That's why embiggen and mutagenic growth must always be in the main deck. Say it with me, always in the main deck, just like that. You don't want to lose. You don't want to look like a stupid with your infect. We infect people have it bad enough where we don't need to look stupid as well. All right, I digress. Now speaking of looking stupid. All right, if you don't want to look stupid, pay attention to me. I'm sorry, not stupid. If you don't want to look silly. Now, if you don't want to look silly, kids, listen to Uncle Joe here. Might of Old Krosa is 1. It's an instant, and you're like, oh, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you played this spell during your main phase, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn instead. Now, you might be thinking that this is going to work like the other ones. You say to yourself, can you get cheeky with it? You can, but it's just a mutagenic growth you got to pay mana for then if you do it at an instant speed after blockers are declared. So before damage, after blockers, it will give you +2/+2. Now, in your first phase or your second phase, main phases, not combat phase. So I should just explain this simpler. I shouldn't mumble jumble like I'm doing. So anyways, this is how it works. If you cast this during your attack phase, that instant speed, so if you're attacking, they don't declare blockers. If you cast this, your creature gets +2/+2. Now, if you're in your main phase, playing your land, doing your thing, that main phase, your creature will get +4/+4, and that's how you get the most out of this. So you want to do this during your main phase. You're not going to be sneaky with it. You could be, but it's going to be +2/+2 sneaky. It's not going to be +4/+4. All right. Anyways, good talk. So embiggen goes there. So we got 4 Might of Old Krosas. Now, this is why it's Witch-Maw or Old Lady Mouth. So, target artifact or creature you control gains protection from artifacts or from the color of my choice until end of turn. What can you say? It's 1, a deck like this, so 1, we pay 2 life. What can you say? What can you say? We're always going to be paying that 2 life. But that's what makes it Old Lady Mouth. Now, where's all this mana coming from, huh? Where's all this mana coming from, Tony? Enchant land. When this aura enters, draw a card. Get your pencils out. That's really good. That's why we love this in here, to be honest. It's even better than Enchanted Land has tap, add 1 mana of any color. The card draw, the card draw, the card draw. Because we could do this differently, but the card draw, the card draw, the card draw. Look at those 3 foily boys. Alright, so we have these 3 beautiful abundant growth, and that looks like a fog gate. That looks like some kind of fog gate from a certain wonderful game. Alright, Rancor. Not only does it mean bad-tempered in the English language, but Rancor is also a big bad booger monster from Star Wars. So, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trompe-l'oeil. You guys know what that means? It's like poisson. But the trompe-l'oeil allows poisson to carry on. When Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Rancor to its owner's hand. Very good. So, we're always getting it back. But guess what? We run 4 of them anyways, because just because it comes back from the graveyard and it returns to our hand, it needs to be attached to something and go to the graveyard for it to come back to our hand, right? So we want 4 of them, because that trompe-l'oeil is so good for our poisson. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now let's talk about what I think is the best land in greedy mana base Pauper. It's Crumbling Vestige. Crumbling Vestige enters the battlefield tapped, but it doesn't. When Crumbling Vestige enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So it's not like it's tapped at all. It's like a rainbow of love and mana production that just enters like this. All right, so. And also it taps for colorless, so we can always enchant it. We have 4 of these wonderful cards in here. We love this card. I love it. I love me some. All right, and I don't love this card. I like it that it doesn't enter tapped, but that's all. And I like the artwork of it. It's beautiful, Tony. Look. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it enters the battlefield scry 1. Now, there's one of these that does surveil too. So in another kind of deck, that'd be really good. So something where you're filling the graveyard a little bit. Do that surveil. Maybe like Go Gary deck, some zombies, some Lotleth giant action. But we can add 1 mana of any color by paying 1, which is kind of a drag. But again, we can scry, get a little bit of the, something to put our enchantments on. We are running 4 Crystal Grottos. Now, let's talk about some strange agents in the deck. You guys are going to be like, Lizard, what is that? I'm going to say, well, just settle down. You haven't seen the sideboard yet, okay? So, Dark Moss Bridge enters the battlefield tapped. It's indestructible. We can add a black or a green. We have 2. Now, these don't necessarily need to be artifact lands. But for the flavor, they have a look of like a poisonous land that I think goes good with our Tree of Tales. Now, again, why Tree of Tales? Is it just for flavor? Oh, it's not just for flavor. We don't do that. We do that. But this isn't that. So, tap and add 1 green to the mana pool. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. We have 4 Tree of Tales because it's an artifact and it's a land and it doesn't enter tapped and it should be modern legal. I wish it was. Because then you could destroy it, too. I mean, we'd have all types of things for our artifact removal in Modern. Listen, Wizards, listen. Now let's just talk about the simple, basic mana base. We have Martina Pisarova presenting it. We have the Pisarova Forest. Look how poisonous that morale mushroom is. We have the foily. We have a regular swamp. And, like I said, we have the 3 forests, all from Martina Pilcharova in her beautiful artwork. Oh, so strange and different. Love it. So, let's talk about the sideboard, and then you guys will understand the method behind my madness. So, we have Duress. Target opponent reveals their hand. We take away those removal spells. And that's pretty much what the 3 duress in here doing. We got this one, the Cup of Poison. Nice Cup of Poison there. All right. We have Pick Your Poison, and not just for flavor, I promise. Each opponent sacrifices an Artie. Each opponent sacrifices an Enchant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. Okay, wow. That's choices, man. We got 2 of those. All right, now there's those other Vines of Vastwood. Look how vast it is. That's vast. Those vines are vast. Target creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control this turn. If Vines of Vastwood was kicked, that creature gets +4/+4. We love it. We know it. We have 2 of them there. And we're going to probably go ahead and put those in the main deck. We won't do that on your time, though. Don't worry. Life goes on. 1 at 2. Gain 4 life. Creature died this turn. You gain 8 life instead. Excuse me. All right. Look at that. This is where our artifact lands come into play. So, let's say we're getting burned by burn. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Its controller gains 4 life. So, we have enchantments we can destroy, and we have artifact lands. So, we can keep gaining that life. And us gaining life against a burn deck, even one time, just one time against a burn deck, and we will win because we can pump them and we can jump with them and we can send them unblocked. And we're running 4 Nature's Claim. Now, here's where things get a little fun. Witch-Maw, Old Lady Mouth. This is for, again, to just double down on protection. Target artifact or creature you control gains protection from the artifact or color of my choice until end of turn. So, again, just it's good in there. It plays a wonderful role. I honestly think like 3 of them could go in there. And as we're moving forward, this sideboard is going to change a little bit as we're exploring more matchups against metagame decks and original decks that players are coming out with. But right now, we're real happy with it. So thank you guys. And we've got a couple mulligan guides coming out later today or tomorrow. So you guys have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.